Namaskar viewers and welcome to our channel Amar Adhyatm Ki Oor. Today we are shooting our first episode and we are going to talk about spirituality and how it came into being. Spirituality and a journey on spirituality is like lighting a diya. It dispels darkness and is a conduit for divine energy. Today we are joined by Amardeep, who himself is on a spiritual journey of self-exploration. And before we talk to him, we would like to do a formal opening of our episode. So, Amardeep, welcome. And before we get to know more about you, can we do a proper traditional Sri Ganesh of our episode?
Sure, pleasure. Yeah,
And
let's
we
do
are
it.
going to do that by lighting
Sure.
an oil lamp.
Yeah, in
Okay.
true Indian tradition. Yeah,
Exactly. So, please do the honors.
sure.
शुभम करोति कल्याणम आरोग्यम धन संपदम शत्रुबुद्धि विनाशाय दीप ज्योति नमस्तुते.
Thank you. You would like to give a chant here, okay?
Please.
This chant is from Upanishad, okay, and it says Tamsoma Jyotirgamaya, okay, which means let's let's come out from darkness towards light, and for me that's spirituality, right? Taking ourselves from darkness to light.
What a beautiful mantra. Viewers, as you saw that we used a pre-lit diya to light a new one. It symbolizes that if we seek knowledge, we need to meet or connect with someone who possesses it. He can be from amongst us, a friend, guide, philosopher, anybody. So let's get acquainted with one of my friends, Amardeep. Amardeep, welcome.
Thank you.
And
Pleasure.
you are on a beautiful spiritual journey,
Yes, I am.
a liberating journey of self-exploration.
Yeah.
And before we get to know more, could you please tell us something about yourself so that you can break ice with the viewers?
Okay. Well, as you know, I'm Amardeep, and I live in Gurgaon. It's a city near Delhi. Okay, and I have been living in different cities, so I have a cosmopolitan background, I would say. Because my father and myself, we were in transferable jobs, so kept on hopping from one city to other in India as well as US. Okay, and when it comes to my background, I'm an engineer and MBA from premier institutes, I would say, like I am Bangalore and NITs. Okay, and now, I have been in corporate world for 25 years in global companies, in global leadership roles, I would say. And for now, I'm in a sabbatical. Okay, and have started my spiritual journey some time back. Okay, and I would say I'm enjoying my spiritual journey. Okay, and because it helped me to connect with my soul, my spirit, and my soul's purpose and passion in life. Okay, and when it comes to my passion and life goals, I would say my passions are varied. They are into music, uh, traveling, off-roading. Okay, long drives, long-term equity investing, and now spirituality also. Okay, and when it comes to my life goals, I would say with this spiritual journey coming in, the big life goals are, definitely community service and seva and spiritual transformation of myself and the world around me.
Oh.
Thank you.
That's an amazing and interesting background and the following journey. When we met, I observed that you're wearing an Om pendant and you also have a Rudraksh. And Rudraksh is worn for many reasons, one of them being as a tool for spiritual growth. It symbolizes Shiva. So, is it true that there is a deep connection between Shiva and spirituality? Could you throw some light on it, please?
Yeah, why not? I'm a big, a fan of Shiva, I would say, and you could see it here, right? Uh, you know, uh, all Rudraksh is obviously helps me to connect to divine or Shiva. Okay, he himself wears it. Okay, and yeah, when it comes to spirituality and Shiva, yes, there is a big connection between them. In fact, he was Adi Guru. He's also called Adi Guru. Okay, or the first Guru, or Adi Yogi, who started the practice of spirituality, and meditation and yoga.
Really?
So yeah, so he did that way back, in Himalayas, near Kedarnath, when he taught his first set of disciples. They were called Saptarishis in those days. So he invented and taught them, the so-called yogic sciences, and meditation, which are a big part of spirituality.
And it's all over the world.
Yes, it's all over the world, and yeah, and if you see statues of Shiva, he's, he would be most of the times he would be in meditation, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
which embodies peace and stillness, and that's in contrast to his uh, his role as a destroyer and transformer. Okay, and that's a interesting aspect of yogic sciences. There is there is always a balance, between destruction and creation. Okay, destruction is not a bad word in yogic sciences. It's a it's actually it's a part of life cycle. Okay, because destruction leads to renewal, transformation and new starts, right? Okay, so Shiva plays that role. So and then from then Shiva also stands for Shuddh Chetna, or consciousness. Okay, which is beautifully depicted in our Nirvana Shatkam shlokas, which we can play for the people. Okay, and that shlokas talks about Shiva transcending duality, and he being pure consciousness. Okay, so Shiva has a big connect with spirituality. In fact, he started spirituality.
Oh, I mean, Amardeep, you have really ignited my curiosity about this spirituality, and of course, I revere Shiva. And so, how do you perceive Lord Shiva? We all have, different perceptions about him. Some call him Bholenath, some call him Adideva, some call him Mahadeva. How does Amardeep perceive Lord Shiva?
Okay, that's a great question. How do I perceive Lord Shiva? Well, for me, Lord Shiva is the ultimate reality. He's the divine. Okay, and interestingly, every aspect of Shiva is so mystical. Okay, and it's so beautiful. Okay, if you see his, if you see his picture or statues, there would be some attributes coming out of it, interesting attributes coming out of it. Okay, uh, for example, you'll always see a moon with him, right?
A crescent moon.
A crescent moon, yeah, which symbolizes the cyclical nature of time and ever-changing universe. Okay, you'll see a serpent around him, which shows his fearless nature, his the cosmic energy, and the Kundalini Shakti. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, which Shiva embodies. Okay, you'll see Ganga coming out of his jatas. Okay, and Ganga obviously symbolizes purity and divine grace. Okay,
Yeah.
And that obviously led to uh, you know Mahakumbh and Kumbh happening. Okay, which happened recently, right? And you'll see Damru, and Damru interestingly has the shape of infinity. Okay, and
Oh yeah, it goes like
yes,
this.
so Shiva stands
Yes.
for infinity, and Damru symbolizes the sound of creation. Okay, also, and you'll see Rudraksh, right? Rudraksh, which I'm wearing,
Yeah.
and Rudraksh helps him to connect to divine, helps you to connect to divine,
Mhm.
and it gives you the ability to transcend the material world. Okay, you'll see Trishul, and Trishula, interestingly, has stands for three fundamental forces. Okay,
Okay.
if you see, Trishula has got three ends, right?
Yes, yes.
So it stands for three fundamental forces of creation, maintenance, and destruction. Okay, and that which is Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. So beautiful, right? And then he has a third eye, right? And that third eye, gives him his destruction power, and it also represents his all-seeing wisdom, and his ability to see beyond physical realms. Okay, so that's one. And then last but not the least, Neelkant. Okay, so he's also known as Neelkant because
Yeah, he has a blue
yeah,
region around his
right,
throat.
yeah. And the story, so the story is that at the end of Kumbh, when a lot of
Manthan.
out of Sagar Manthan,
Yes.
a lot of outputs came out of it, including poison as well as Amrit. Okay, so Shiva in his avatar of generosity, and kindness, and selflessness. Okay, he took the poison. Okay,
Yeah, that totally shows that that aspect of him, selflessness
yeah,
and caring for the mankind.
yeah.
And he took the poison
He took the poison,
willingly.
yeah, and he's called Neelkant, right? But that
Exactly.
also symbolizes our ability to his ability to turn negativity into positivity. Okay,
Absolutely.
he turned turned poison into
It
positive thing.
neutralizes
Yeah, into a
basically.
positive thing, because that in turn led to Amrit coming out, which got distributed to Devas, right, later. So he's having an amazing personality. Okay, and I'm in complete awe with Shiva. Okay, I would say. Okay,
Om Namah Shiva.
Om Namah Shiva.
Yes, his persona, Shiva's persona, is truly mesmerizing.
Yeah,
There is no doubt about that. I would say every aspect of him is totally mystical, as you said.
yeah,
One of them being Mahashivratri.
yeah,
When the whole community, whole of Bharatvarsh, comes together and
yeah,
celebrates this pious occasion.
yeah.
So, what does Mahashivratri? What importance does it hold for you?
Okay, yeah. So let me talk a bit about Mahashivratri before I talk about the importance for me. uh, for the viewers, Mahashivratri, as many of you know, is celebrated as per scriptures, because it's Shiva's wedding anniversary with Parvati, right? So it's a big day for all of us, okay, and it's a big day for spiritual seekers like me also.
Mhm.
In fact, it's the biggest day in spiritual calendar, for us. Okay. Interestingly, Mahashivratri is the darkest day in the year and is the most energetic day in the year. Okay, so
Energetic how?
okay, so Earth is positioned in such a way, on that day, which falls in Feb and or March, generally. Okay,
Right.
when it's the darkest, as well as most energetic in terms of cosmic energy. Okay, the
Wow.
cosmic energy is highest on that day.
Wow.
Okay, so yeah, and that's why spiritual seekers like me celebrate it for the whole night. Okay, on that day, so that the cosmic energy makes its way through the entire body. Okay, and for example, this time, I had the good fortune, to celebrate it for the whole night in with Sadhguru, in Sadhguru's ashram in Coimbatore. Okay,
The Isha
Isha Center,
ashram,
yeah.
Isha Center.
Yeah, because he and his disciples celebrates Mahashivratri in a wonderful manner throughout the night, okay, with a lot of action there. And so I was awake the whole night and I enjoyed it thoroughly, okay, and felt very, very energetic at the end of the night. So thanks to universe. Okay, so yeah, so Mahashivratri, as I said, very important for all of us. It's important for married people because it's Shiva's wedding anniversary. It's important for spiritual seekers like me. I told you why. It's also important for all the ambitious people in the world because Shiva vanquished or conquered all his enemies on that day.
Okay.
Okay, so it's very important for all of us.
So, Amardeep, the union of Shiva and Parvati. What is the deeper meaning of this in spirituality, in Adhyatma?
Yeah, actually, in spirituality and yogic traditions, balance and harmony is a big aspect of that. Okay, so when it comes to unification of Shiva and Parvati, okay, which is also called as Ardhanarishvara
Rupam,
avatar,
yes.
okay, or Adi Shakti avatar. Okay, it symbolizes unification of masculine and feminine energies. Okay, which is the balanced aspect of yoga. Okay, and it also symbolizes, you know, synthesis or unification of opposite forces. Okay, which is required by the universe. Okay, for creation. So and it also obviously symbolizes the eternal love between Shiva and Parvati. Okay, when they come combined together into Narishwar form.
That's the most divine enlightening, Amardeep. And before we move forward, let's make a request to our viewers. Please like and subscribe this channel, Amar Adhyatm Ki Oor, so you can receive notifications for all the upcoming episodes which we make about Adhyatm. And you are most welcome to join us on this beautiful spiritual journey. And does it cost anything, Amardeep?
Of course not.
It's absolutely free. The only thing that is required is a heart full of devotion for the divine.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I would, going by my experience, it has given me so much of happiness and renewed energy, and a lot of other stuff like calmness, peace, and all. I would strongly encourage you guys to join us in this exciting journey.
Exactly. So now coming back to spirituality and how to start practicing it. So Amardeep, for people who are just beginning to understand spirituality and want to practice it, want to get connected to it, how do they go about it? Can you walk us through a few steps which people can accommodate in their daily life to to be spiritual or
Right.
to embark on their own spiritual journey?
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, we'll talk about this a bit more more details later
Yeah,
in next episodes. But yeah, just to give a starting on this, before I answer that question, I just wanted to explain a bit, about different practices of spirituality which you could follow in your day-to-day life. Okay, so spirituality, different practices of spirituality, you can remember them as 5 M's. Okay, and 5 M's stand for things like meditation, mantra, music, okay, mindfulness, okay, and mudras. And then, nature walk also is spirituality, and then finally yoga and pranayams also are spiritual spirituality. Okay, so you could do, things like mantra, listening to bhajans or satsangs, or your soul touching music. Okay, or do a bit of small meditation, for like 5 to 10 minutes, every day, and that could give you a lot of calm, stillness, and happiness. Okay, so yeah. uh,
specific pose, or they can people can just sit anywhere and like if I want to practice spirituality and I'm just in my car and I'm waiting for probably somebody, so I can just sit quietly and do meditation. Is it so?
Yeah, actually, as I said, many of these 5 M's can be done anywhere and anytime. But for meditation, which needs a bit of, I would say, peaceful place. Okay, but things like, satsang or bhajan, music or chanting can be done anywhere, anytime. Okay, for meditation, you need a bit of quieter place. But yeah, if you are in your car and you're sitting in a back seat, or if you are in a train which is not very busy, you're sitting in a corner, you can very well do a bit of meditation also for maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
You
Somebody
also mentioned that people can listen to bhajans. You mentioned chanting also.
Yeah.
And one of the bhajans you mentioned, it was uh,
Nirvana Shatkam
Nirvana Shatkam.
shlokas.
It's Shivoham Shivoham.
Shivam.
So that's
That-
one of my favorite bhajans.
That was created by Adi Shankar a long time back.
So
and
that's
and
such
it
a
shows,
blessing.
it shows that Shiva is pure consciousness,
Yes.
and it transcends duality.
Exactly. Humankind is so blessed. And viewers, we are going to end this episode today, but we are going to listen to this bhajan Shivoham Shivoham. So please join us. And if you want to meditate as Amardeep has walked us through it, you may also do it. So see you next time. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
न पुण्यं न पापं न सौख्यं न दुःखं न मन्त्रो न तीर्थं